Hello students, welcome back to Fast Track CET 2020 presented by Anjuman Institute of Technology and Management Bhatkal. Today I will be covering electrostatic potential and capacitance. First I will elaborate you the concept of electrostatic potential, and then we shall understand what are conductors and insulators. Then the concept of capacitor, parallel plate capacitor, combination of capacitors and energy stored in a capacitor. Finally, we shall solve some numerical examples. This is how the coverage will be in this second session. We already have come across what is the meaning of electrostatic field. You know that what is an electrostatic field. You see, electrostatic field means there is a charge present. Suppose there is a charge present. Say let us take it as Q. In the vicinity of that charge there will be electrostatic field set. Electrostatic field set around that. You see, it is like a bulb which is present and illuminating out the light. It is, you can imagine in that manner. When an electrostatic field is set here, how to understand that there is an electrostatic field? You can bring a test charge from outside, and then when you come in the vicinity of this charge, it experiences the force. That means you are just bringing a test charge here. You are just bringing it inside. When you are bringing a test charge, it experiences the force. See what kind of force it experiences, because the charge which is present here, the main charge which is present here, it will force out this test charge away from its field, because let us assume that both are positive. Hence the force of repulsion will be from, say, from here, this point to this point, A to B. This is the force. Okay, this is the force. Hence the electric field which is set here work so that the test charge is forced from or forced to move from point A to B. The work done, I shall say it as work done in moving charge from A to B is given by the force, the integration of force, or force into distance actually, force into distance. But suppose you work against the field and bring the test charge from B to A, you have to work against the field. You have to exert the force or exert the work. If you want to move from A to B, the field will work. If you want to move from B to A, you have to work against the field. Hence the above formula, suppose you are moving from point B to A, then work done becomes minus F dot dl. Minus F dot dl. That means you are moving from initially point B to point A. Try to understand, you are moving from point B to point A. Okay, and against the field, hence there is a negative sign here. Now you know that electric field and force are related by this way. That means force is equal to Q into E. Hence what I do, work done is equal to minus force is Q into E and initial position to final position. Now work done can be given by minus Q E dot dl. Now in this I am moving from B to A. Work done per charge, I can give it as minus integration of E dot dl. This concept, whatever is there, no, work done per charge, that is called as potential. Try to understand, work done from moving from point B to A, that is called as potential. Actually we are not having absolute potential, we call it as potential difference. The potential difference VA minus VB, it is given by work done per charge. It is also equal to minus E dot dl. Very importantly, what is potential difference VA minus VB? It is work done per charge. This is very important formula. Work done per charge is very important formula. Now suppose I shifted the point B to infinity. Then what happens? That means I am shifting point B to infinity, somewhere away from this infinity. Then it becomes absolute potential of point A. That is called as absolute potential of point A. VA is equal to work done per charge. In what case? I am shifting point B to infinity. Hence, potential of a point is defined as work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point A. This is the definition of absolute potential. Please, students, note that work done per charge means potential. Now, let us find the potential due to a point charge. Potential due to a point charge. See, potential due to a point charge, very simple to do. We already know the formula E dot dl. Here, V becomes equal to minus integration of E dot dl. That dl becomes dr, because when you are having a point charge, spherical coordination to be taken, hence it becomes E dot dr, and minus electric field is Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square dr. When you are integrating it and substituting the values, you can see that V becomes equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon r. That means potential due to a point charge, say this is point charge, you want to find the potential at point R, say R is here somewhere, okay. What you have to do? You have to apply this formula, Q upon 4 pi epsilon R. In this first board, you have understood two very important things. One is potential is work done per charge, and potential of a point charge can be given by Q upon 4 pi epsilon R. Please keep in mind these two formulas. Let us see potential due to system of charges. System of charges means many charges like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, etc. are kept at different points. You are finding out the potential at point P. You are finding out potential at this point. It is very simple. You have to apply the superposition theorem. That means the total potential at point P is due to potential because of individual charges. Here, see what is the potential due to Q1. Total potential V is because of first charge, because of second charge, because of third charge, like that it goes on. V, what is the potential due to first charge? Already we have come that it is Q1 upon 4 pi epsilon R1. R1 is the distance. Plus what is because of Q2? Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon R2 plus Q3 divided by 4 pi epsilon R3 plus so on. Like this, the total potential is there. This is how you can apply the concept of potential due to system of charges. Now let us understand some wrap up whatever I just tell now. We have understood two things. One is electric field, potential and distance. See, these three are related with each other. Electric field, potential and distance. How they are related? They are related in this manner. Electric field, whatever is there, you can give it as electric field, whatever is there, you can give it as V by L. That means it is field is set as volts per meter. Similarly, we have understood another concept, that potential, charge and work done. What is potential? Potential is work done per charge. Okay, these two are importantly related. Out of that, this is the takeaway, and similarly another important formula is voltage due to a point charge or potential due to point charge is Q upon 4 pi epsilon r, where r is the distance where you are finding out. Okay, these two are very important. Okay, let us go again with the next concept, that is conductors and insulators or dielectric material. Okay, what are conductors? You see, conductors are the materials which are used for conduction of electrons or current. Okay, you know that in your home and all, wiring system will be there, where from mains the current will conduct, isn't it? It conducts through conductors. See, conductors are generally made of coppers. And what are the electrostatic concepts that comes with conductors? Let us see that. See, conductors, suppose I take a conductor here like this. See, this is a conductor of length L. Under static conditions, when some electrons are present at the interiors here like this, under static conditions, what happens is these electrons move till they reach the surface. Please note that initially the electrons were present at the interior or at the center of the conductor. Under static conditions, they move towards the surface, and they can be present only at the surface, nowhere else. They cannot reside at the interiors under static conditions. This is one of the very important point, that no electrons are at the interior. No electrons are at interior. Okay. Second, when no electrons are there at the center or at the interior, no electric field. No electric field at interior. Third point is that the electric field is set at the surface, obviously, because all the electrons are moved to the surface. That means electric field is set at the surface. Now, another very important point is, when electric field is set at the surface, it becomes an equipotential surface. Equipotential surface means what? I will explain. The conductor surface is equipotential. See, this is very important. Equipotential. What is the meaning of equipotential? Suppose this point is at 100 volt, the other end also will be at 100 volt. This is the meaning of equipotential. The potential at one end to the other end will be same for conductors. Please note that. Equipotential surfaces. Conductors are equipotential surface. Very important takeaway in this explanation is, no electrons are at the center of the conductor. They move towards the surface. The electric field is set at the surface, and it will be generally normal to the surface. And conductor surface is equipotential. Okay. Now let us go towards the insulators. What are insulators? See, insulators are simply non-conducting material. They don't conduct current or electrons. Now, what is the use of insulators? See, insulators are mainly used for storing energy. If you elaborate the theory of insulators, obviously you will see that there will be a dipole moment which are present. Okay. What is the main point here? First point is energy storage. In insulators, there will be energy storage happens. Second is, it happens because of dipole and polarization. Dipole and polarization. Now, first you know that whenever a dipole is present, dipole means plus and minus electrons at a distance of d. The dipole moment P is given by Q into D, isn't it? Now, polarization, what we call total dipole moment per volume. Okay, that is called as polarization. Now, polarization is related with electricity, that is given by susceptibility multiplied by electric field. Polarization depends upon electric field which you are applying. That means suppose there is an insulator present here. Suppose there is an insulator present here. Say this is an insulator. Okay. You are applying an electric field across that. You are applying an electric field across that. When you are applying an electric field, how the dipole moments are set or how they are oriented depends on electric field. Polarization is directly proportional to electric field, and this is called as susceptibility. Now, this is how the insulators are acting. Mainly the dipole moment and polarization is the characteristic of insulators. They are mainly used for energy storage. They are mainly used for energy storage. Conductors are used for conduction of current, and insulators are used for storage of energy. Let us go ahead with the concept of capacitors now. See, capacitor is one of the very important element of electrostatics. What exactly is a capacitor? See, capacitor is a material which is built so that there is metal, two metals, okay, and in between there is a dielectric material stuffed. Okay, dielectric material stuffed. Now what is this? This is metal, or we call it as metal plates, and this is dielectric. This is how the capacitor structure is. We shall say that mainly the capacitor is one which consists of two metallic plates, in between a dielectric is stuffed. Now the metallic plates, whatever are there, no, they are mainly used to store the charges, equal and opposite charges. Suppose here it is plus, then obviously minus charges are present on the other plate. Okay. Now capacitance, we call it as capacitance. Capacitance is defined as charge per voltage. Charge per voltage. C is equal to Q by V. See, this is the definition. How we are storing the charges? By applying some potential. By applying some potential. That means you are just bringing and connecting a voltage here. When you are connecting a voltage, the charges are stored here. This total charge, equal and opposite charge, whatever is stored, is called as Q. Hence, the capacitance of this structure is defined as charge per voltage. Please remember that. Please remember that the charge, whatever is present, no, that is given by charge. Capacitance is given by charge per voltage. Now, very important structure which comes is parallel plate capacitor. See, parallel plate capacitor. See, the parallel plate capacitor is having a structure where there will be two parallel plates. Okay, this is of area A, say this is of area A, and then in between obviously a dielectric material is stuffed. This dielectric material thickness will be D. Okay, dielectric material thickness will be D. Now the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor is given by C is equal to epsilon A by D. Please remember this formula, very important. Okay, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor is given by epsilon A by D. Obviously, please note that the capacitance of a structure can be increased by increasing the area or decreasing the thickness of insulator, or permittivity, increasing the permittivity of the material, insulating material. when you are increasing the capacitance, obviously what happens? The charge C is equal to Q by V. If C is increased, obviously what happens is charge which is stored also will be increased. Hence these two formulas which are there, no, capacitance is charge per voltage and parallel plate capacitor is given by epsilon A by D. This is very important formula. Please you have to remember these two. Let us understand what are the combinations of capacitors. See, the capacitors can be connected in series or parallel. See, when I am just connecting capacitors in series, C1, C2, C3, say like this, you can connect capacitor in series and apply the voltage V here. I have just applied the voltage V here. This is C1, C2, C3. When you are connecting capacitors in series, what happens is the same current flows through all the three capacitors. Same current flows or same charge flows here. But the voltage which is there, no, it is divided. Say it is divided into V1, V2 and V3, so that total voltage V becomes equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. If you simplify this, you will get the total, the capacitance of the structure. This is very important. The total capacitance of the structure is given by 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is the takeaway formula which is required for us. Okay, 1 by C. This is the series combination. Suppose I am having parallel combination. Say this is series, obviously. Suppose you are having parallel combination of capacitor. Parallel combination of capacitor. What happens is, say when you are having capacitors connected parallelly like this, C1, C2, C3, importantly the voltage which is applied across the capacitor will be same. The voltage across C1 is also same, C2 is also same, C3 is also same. What is the thing here? The current which is there, no, I, that is divided. It is divided into I1, I2 and I3. Now the total capacitance of this structure, C is given by C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus so on, if so many other capacitors also connected. These two are very, very important formulas. Please, you have to remember this. Hence I just covered up. Now let us see what is the energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. You already know that capacitors are having dielectric material in between two metals. Hence capacitor is importantly a element which stores energy. What is the energy that is stored in a capacitor? You see, energy stored in a capacitor is given by E is equal to half C V square. What is the V? V here is the voltage which is present across the capacitor. Suppose this is the voltage and this is the capacitor. This capacitor stores energy in this dielectric material, isn't it? This energy which is there, half CV square, and then you can substitute other things if you want and see. But this is the one formula which is required for you to find the energy stored in a capacitor. Please remember this formula. Let us solve the numerical example. Here the example states that when a charge of 20 coulomb is taken from one point to another, separated by a distance of 0.2 meter, work done is 2 joules. What is the potential difference between the 2 points? I just solve this example. Say from point A to point B, I am moving charge. I am moving a charge 20 coulomb. Charge moved is 20 coulomb. Say from point A to somewhere. Now the distance is 0.2 meter. 0.2 meter. Distance is 0.2 meter. What is the definition of potential? Potential is equal to, or potential difference between A and B. It is, I write it as AB. Potential difference between AB is work done per charge. What it says, what is the work done here? Work done is 2 joules. How much charge moved? 20 coulomb. Hence 2 divided by 20 or 0.1. Potential difference is 0.1 volt, or it is also given by 1 into 10 raised to minus 1. 1 into 10 raised to minus 1. Please note that the work done in electrostatic condition to move from one point to another, A to B or B to A, is independent of the distance. This is very important point. Independent of distance. If I ask a question, what is the potential difference between point A and B? If the distance is changed to 0.8 meters, also the same answer. It is independent of the distance between point A and B, but it only depends on work done. Okay, work done, and that work done is independent of the distance between the 2 points. Suppose you came from here and came to this point, changing the distance to 0.8 meter, it doesn't change the potential difference. Please remember, work done per charge. The answer becomes D now. The answer becomes D. Let us solve the next example. The example states that electric charges plus 10 microcoulomb plus 5 microcoulomb minus 3 microcoulomb and 8 microcoulomb are placed at the corners of a square of a side √2 meter. The potential at the center of the square. This is the question. Okay. Now let us see what exactly is this. There is a square of side √2 meter. Okay. And there each of the corner, here at this corner 10 micro, here 5 micro, here minus 3 micro, here there is 8 micro. I have to find the potential at the center of this. Obviously you have to find this distance first and then half of that, isn't it? Now this is √2. That means what is A, B, let me take it as O. Obviously the center becomes AB is equal to square root of √2 square plus √2 square, Pythagoras. This is also root, hence it becomes 2. Now AO becomes 2 by 2, 1 meter. 1 meter. This is 1 meter now. Now you know that the potential due to a system of charges, potential due to system of charges, V is equal to Q1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught R1 plus Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R2 plus Q3 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R3 plus Q4 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R4. Now here 1 over 4 pi epsilon is already, you know, in my previous class, 9 into 10 raised to 9. And it becomes Q1 by R1, Q2 by R2, etc. Anyway, I will write it Q1 by R1, Q2 by R2 plus Q3 by R3 plus Q4 by R4. Now 9 into 10 raised to 9, Q1 is 10 micro, 10 into 10 raised to minus 6 by R1 is the distance 1 meter, same, plus Q2 is 5 micro plus Q3 minus 3 micro plus 8 micro. That micro is common, hence it becomes 10 raised to 9, 10 raised to minus 6, 10 raised to 3, 9 into 10, 15 minus 3, 12, 80, 20. That means 180 into 10 raised to 3. That can be given as 180, but it is 1.8 into 10 raised to 5. This is my answer. This is my answer. Hence 1.8 into 10 raised to 5. C is my answer. I hope you understood. I have used the concept of system of charges. System of charges. Let us see this example. A network of 4 10 microfarad capacitors are connected to a 500 volt supply. What is the equivalent capacitance? Here, please note that voltage is applied across A and D. Okay, voltage is applied across A and D. In such kind of structures, you should see what is the series and parallel combinations of these capacitors. For that, simple thing is, see, current comes here, divides this like a water. You can imagine the same current flows here, here. It moves here also, it moves here also, and then come back to D point. That means this 10 micro, this 10 micro, this 10 micro, all the three are in series, and that structure is in parallel with this 10 microfarad, because here is the division. Please note that there are 3 10 microfarads, 10, 10, 10 are in series, parallel with 10 microfarad. Let us find the series combination. That means you know the formula for if capacitors are series. You should know that the total capacitance is given by 1 by C, 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3, isn't it? 1 by 10 micro plus 1 by 10 micro plus 1 by 10 micro. Now this 1 by 10 becomes 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1. Micro is common, I kept outside, becomes 1 by C. This goes to the other side, hence C becomes equal to 1 divided by 0.3 micro. Okay, hence 3.333 microfarad capacitors, which is in parallel. I shall call it as CP. Now this capacitor 3.33 micro is in parallel with 10 micro. Totally this become A and D. This is 10 micro, this is 3.3. You know that parallel combination C is equal to C1 plus C2, that is 10 micro plus 3.33 micro, hence it is 13.33 microfarad is my answer. You know that there is only one answer becomes equal to C now. Answer becomes equal to C. Please see that you can take the concept of current or a water which is flowing. That water flows in this. The same water comes to this, same water comes to this and goes, isn't it? Hence this 10 micro, these 3 10 micro are in series. That is very important. You can take the division of current or division of water so as to understand how the series and parallel combination will be existing in a given structure. Okay.